Okay, gamers, we're back again with Chris
Hello.
and Taylor.
That's it.
Oh, I did it. With another episode of Sherlock Holmes. Yay. So that's Sherlock. He says hi. So yeah, we left you off with the first one. He just fixed the crime and stuff, and we've gotten downstairs the next morning, and Watson's like, "Oh, check out this newspaper. It's a disgrace." And you're like, "Okay, Watson, I'll do that." I don't want to, but I'll do it. Okay, so let's read the newspaper. Okay, I'm going to read it out loud, okay, so you can see it.
Okay.
Remember, this is like 1898, so I got to do it in the proper voice. Sherlock Holmes at the home... Yeah, at the home of the Marquess of Coningham. The investigation is a fiasco. Yesterday, the celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquess of Coningham to supply his conclusions following his investigation into the disappearance of the priceless Samoan necklace. It should be recalled that after the lady called in the detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonishing circumstances surrounding the theft. This is the Globe Explorer, okay? It's like the newspaper of the 1898. Okay. Indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. The alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room service bell ringing out during the night. While the Marquess, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started, before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. Oh, I should have got like a cup of water or something. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
You rating that is just so hilarious.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. The most astonishing factor is that no thief was found within the room, and all the exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in the twinkling of an eye, and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time on the various explanations as to the disappearance, because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising developments in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, the Marquess noticed that the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Egads! Let it not be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls. Pearls which are found only in the small part of the lagoon of the archipelago of the same name, and to which scientists attribute their exceptional quality to the strong density of crystal of the argonite that they are made of. The
Voice of an angel.
pardon?
Voice of an angel.
I know, right? I could lullaby any child to sleep. The priceless necklace, brought here at the beginning of the century by Lord Fenton Arwick, the Marquess's grandfather and an eminent explorer, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle. So, I am going to place a simple question. Should we not, in all open-mindedness, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and deliberately exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I am aware, dear readers, that the brutality of this question, without any preconceptions, may certainly shock some of you. But the facts are there, and our thoughts and judgment should not be confused with the regard which we all share for the famous detective. It is not for the first time that the Globe Explorer has expressed its reservations as to Sherlock Holmes's methods. Do not forget our counter-investigation into the escape of Arsène Lupin, the Frenchman who took pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family, and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. At the time, we did not hesitate to consider a tacit complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than that of altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that that the description of this gentleman, provided by his friend Dr. John Watson, through his stories, is a long way from the truth. Oh my god, it's still going. Okay, here we go. Indeed, his behavior is derisive, contemptuous, haughty, and offensive towards the police, and in particular towards Inspector Baines, replacing Inspector Lestrade, who is currently convalescent, and an habitual user of narcotics such as heroin and cocaine. This is what was wrong with the 1898s. I just disgusted I am.
Oh god.
Okay, how many pages are there left to do? Okay, I think I can continue the voice for a little bit more. It's like this page and the next page. Okay. This is why, dear readers, it is important to disregard Sherlock Holmes' good reputation in order to form an objective opinion and to ask the pertinent questions. Was the necklace that Holmes found already a fake? If that was the case, why did he not mention it? And why should he insist on placing it back within the safe himself? Has the detective some unsavory interest in this affair? Or is it a simple case of deceit in order to steal the extraordinary Samoan necklace? It is up to you, dear readers, to form your own opinions. But you can count upon your humble servant to continue revealing to the public the doubtful methods and motivations of one who in future I shall not hesitate to call Sherlock Holmes the usurper. To be continued. Oh, folly. Oh my god!
That is the longest story.
Hold on. Okay. Oh, that's a bit better. So to you viewers, yeah, basically the news reporter from the Globe Explorer was saying that Sherlock Holmes faked the case and that, in their opinion, Sherlock Holmes is some pretentious guy that screws up all the cases just so he can look good and stuff like that. So, not very nice whatsoever. I will never read like that again, ever.
You can't just start and stop.
I know, I'm like, I have to keep going. But yeah, there's 2 more pages about like the you know, if you're watching it right now, sorry, I'm not gonna read it out loud because my throat hurts now. But you can like read it, like pause the video and read it yourself. Oh yeah, and make sure you read it in the voice I said it out loud in. You have to. It's not allowed not to. I'm sorry. You have to. Okay.
You know, we will find you.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that, Rag?
So yeah, right now we've got the option between slander and necklace. So like talking about the slander of the newspaper and then like the necklace. I'm pretty sure slander's Dr. Watson and necklace is Sherlock Holmes, but you can choose both. So I'm just going to go with Sherlock Holmes first.
Okay.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
And Dr. Watson.
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
So I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's a bit of screen tearing throughout, or screen lag throughout the game. It's not the recording. It's actually the game itself. But it's been running pretty smoothly, apart from like a few bits and pieces. So you can't really get mad at it.
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewelry?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
And we're back again. I'm gonna have to inspect the necklace to see if it's truly a fake or whether it was just a bogus lie. But yeah, you guys can understand so far that they're saying that for this case, Sherlock Holmes actually put a fake necklace in the box and took it for himself, the real one. Thankfully, the inspector and stuff. Obviously, Sherlock Holmes has a good reputation, but the inspector and stuff is like not believing. So I'm just explaining to them about Taylor's back. I'm just explaining to them about how they're saying that Sherlock replaced. They say that Sherlock replaced the real necklace with a fake one.
Oh,
No, not very nice. But yeah, so like what the game's doing right now is it's going into like a zoom in view of the necklace, and you like pick out bits and pieces you think don't like make it look fake. So it does a lot of this for the different clues, which is awesome. It gives you the sort of the experience of actually holding the necklace and figuring out what's wrong with it.
This pearl is a different color. These 3 pearls are of poor quality. This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
See, this is the first point in the game we actually shift over, to Dr. Watson. So see, look, there's Sherlock. And I'm Watson. Yeah. Watson has the best mustache ever.
Does he have a mustache for me?
I can't remember. I think so. Anyway, so yeah, you just told the Scotland Yard that the necklace is indeed a fake. And Scotland Yard's gone off to sort of figure it out, where you go to check out some bishop. Some bishop wants to you to go see him, so we're gonna go do that. Dr. Watson has to get Sherlock's map though, so I'm guessing the map's gonna act like a travel.
I have found your map.
Yeah, that's not there. Indeed it was. Okay, so it looks like we can now travel places, Taylor. Looks like we can travel places. Okay, so it looks like the different menus we have are like. Hold on. Oh, it looks like you can read like the whole conversations from the different cases. Or at least the deductions. So it's got like the whole conversation he had with like the inspector from where he's telling him there was a monkey.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty epic. And then it looks like there's one about when, like, just before when they're talking about the necklace. So it looks like we can go back over the different things and find out what's happening in the storyline without having to look it up or anything. And you can read the newspaper, The Globe Explorer, the newspaper article that I read.
Nice.
So we've got that.
Your awesome voice.
Thank you. So we've got that so far, the inventory and... Oh, it looks like... Oh, there we go. The inventory and the newspaper. And the map. Sorry, said that. Yeah. So we're going to travel to the Diocese of Knightsbridge to go meet the bishop. Oh my god.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
What has happened, Reverend?
What? I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question! I don't even know you! I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Alright, looks like we've got another menu that's just opened up, and it's like Watson's notepad thing, or Sherlock's notepad thing, and like,
okay.
all like the deductions you've made from the investigations come up in here. So far there's like one under the wealth category, and it says the bishop did not own anything of value, not even in his safe. So that's a deduction we have. I just want to point out, I don't know if you guys are seeing through the video, you'll see it later on, Taylor, but the character models for the game, while they're not like heaps graphically enhanced, I don't know if you guys are noticing, but like there's bits and pieces where Sherlock's like talking and he like crosses hands and like moves some. I think that's awesome. They obviously paid heaps of attention to detail because that's just looks like something he would do, and it sort of gives the authenticity to the character. I think that is really awesome. So, yeah, yes, the Dr. Knightsbridge. Oh, by the way, Taylor, you didn't see it. You know the bishop I went to go see?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh, shave us now.
No. But like he's like extremely mutilated now. Look at that. Faint of heart should not look at his hands. That's gross.
When you're talking about the series, that's the like modern Sherlock Holmes, isn't it?
The English one.
I don't know if it's English, but it's in like modern days.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's pretty crazy.
Is that good?
It like I saw like the first episode I think of the TV series, and it is pretty cool. And being like a whole Sherlock Holmes fan, I was like, oh my god. So I'll have to download that as well. I'll have to watch that as well. Okay, so right now we're checking out the corpse of the dead bishop, which is extremely disturbing.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
And it looks like that he probably died because he bit himself. I think he ate
That's
bits
not
of himself.
He bit himself.
Yeah, like gnawed his arms.
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
Because they said they found strips of skin between his teeth. It looks like he actually bit at his arms, like nom 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 nom.
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
Yeah, I'll leave the rest of the examinations to the next episode. But thank you all for watching. This is been Chris and Taylor from ZombehGamers. Say it right. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. My videos come out Monday, Wednesdays, Friday. I keep saying Tuesday. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. We do multiplayer stuff on Sundays. And you'll be seeing from Taylor on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, along with Justin, and mine along with James. So just keep tuned for that. And there'll be more of these coming along. And Dishonored's coming out this month. We've got a vlog coming out that'll explain everything. So keep tuned for that as well. So goodbye from me.
Yeah.
Taylor, bye. Alright, see you guys later.
Sherlock, should you subscribe?
Indubitably.
And Sherlock, should you like?
Indubitably.